fuck?
Stupid as
Family
fuck.
Man.
Even
But
worse than House of
the
Wax.
family. Whoa, really? Wow, that's crazy. Cause I definitely, I actually thought this was kind
It's
of
worse
good.
than Click.
I don't know if I agree with that. In fact, I think that they're like close for me, honestly. Cause I like Click, but I kind of liked this
Alright, this
too.
was my first time watching it.
The Me Too, and this is apparently
Okay, right.
This is one of G Berg's favorite movies, or one of his favorite Nick
Therefore it
Cage.
sucks.
His what's that?
Therefore it sucks.
Therefore it sucks. No, I no, I liked it, and actually I didn't really know what it was gonna be exactly going in to it, but then there's a supernatural element, and I loved that. I love shit like this. With it reminded me sort of It's a Wonderful Life, but a little bit reversed. So let's get into the plot.
But is that like an adaptation of A Christmas Carol?
Do you know the It's a Wonderful Life at all? You never seen It's a Wonderful Life?
I might, I just don't recall the names of all movies, right?
Okay, no, it's okay. It's the one with Jimmy Stewart, and it's been parodied for like so many times. And it's a Christmas movie, and the whole point is he's like about to kill himself, but then an angel shows him what life would be like if he had never been born, and he sees all the different people that he has touched and how good the world is with him on it. So it makes him not want to kill himself, and it makes him so happy to be alive. And it's a really touching Christmas movie, and it's sort of a
Alright, I'll
classic.
say
Yeah.
that it qualifies as an adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, well, like it's similar to that, and it reminds me, also sort of but different, uh, the butterfly effect, cause the butterfly
Yes, I
effect,
was thinking that too.
the butterfly effect is like the exact opposite of It's a Wonderful Life, because in the It's a Wonderful Life is he realizes how, shitty the world would be without him, in
Right?
the butterfly effect he realizes how good the world would be without him. So it's kind of funny. And I like both movies, but Butterfly Effect is dumber, and there's certain parts that are really laughable in it. But anyway, we're not talking about that fucking movie. We're talking
No,
about
we're talking about Groundhog Day.
well, yeah, and the Groundhog Day is another movie that this is similar to, but it's not quite. Uh, the family. We could talk about movies that are similar to this movie all day, really. Uh,
Yeah.
The Family Man. I'm very slowly writing this. I might need
Yep.
to get a new dry erase marker soon. This is starting to let me down.
You should do that. It's very important.
Yeah, I'm just going over it a few times though, so it'll be okay. Okay, there we go. The Family Man. So yeah, this movie centers on Jack, who is Nicolas Cage. In the first scene, I think it says 1987, and we see, who's the female lead? Leah
Wait,
something. Tia Leone. Tia Leone. That's what I'm going with. I think that's what her
her
name.
character name is Kate, I think.
Her character name's Kate, though. Yeah, that's correct. But they're at an airport, and I forget what it is exactly, but Nicolas Cage, his character, is supposed to go to London to be an investment banker or some shit. Like, it's a job opportunity. But,
Yep.
and Kate is supposed to go to law school or something like that. Or I forget exactly. But the point is that they're going their separate
Something like
ways,
that, yeah.
and she wants him to stay, and she's like, we should just fucking be together, we love each other, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna go to London.
Yeah, we made a plan, and people are always emotional at the airport.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't let anyone talk me out of living my life.
Tia Leone, 8.4. Spaghetti gives this one. You've seen this one, Spaghetti?
I think that's for the actress, and I have to agree.
8.4 for Tia Leone.
Yep.
She's pretty good. I'm sure I saw her and I was like, she's in stuff I've seen, but like I didn't know her name until I looked
Yeah,
at the
it doesn't
poster today.
ring a bell.
But yeah, she's good in it. I think they have decent chemistry. But the plot is,
Yeah.
yes, it's a Christmas movie and it's Christmas Eve, and we see that Nicolas Cage is this super successful investment banker.
Scrooge.
And this, yeah, he's basically Scrooge, and it's like 10 minutes. How many ever years later? Like 13 or 14 years later or something like that. So it's like
I
2000
don't
and,
remember.
so it's like 2003 at this point, I think. And so he's super rich, super
3
successful.
hours.
He's the seems like he's like one of the higher ups at not the highest up, but one of the higher ups at this investment firm, and he's making everybody stay Christmas Eve. Um, oh, what am I trying to say?
He's a young Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But no, he's got all these people here late, and we find out that Kate has phoned him.
Home to my family.
And he's like, "Fuck you!
Christmas
We're making
dinner."
money, bitch." Basically, I mean, he didn't say that exactly, but that was basically the message that he gave.
Close enough.
Yeah. And Kate, yeah, that's what I was saying. Kate, she phones him, and he's like, "I don't fucking give a shit. I'm not talking to her." That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so he goes to a liquor store, convenience store, and he buys something, and Don Cheadle's there, and Don Cheadle, he has a lottery ticket, and the convenience store won't honor it, and I don't really get why they won't look at it. I don't really understand
They're
that.
worried about getting scammed.
Okay, and okay, I guess that makes sense. But then yeah, John Cheadle takes out a gun, but then Nicolas Cage, I think he's trying to be like the hero and the nice guy, but it sort of backfires on him sort of in a way. And he goes and he tries to defuse the situation by offering him money for the ticket. It's supposed to be a $240 winning ticket, and he's like, "It's worth $240. I'll give you $200, and I'll make a profit. It's business. It's I'm a businessman. I'm Nicolas Cage," and
Right.
Don Cheadle's like, "Okay," and then he goes out, but then Nicolas Cage is like trying to be like, "Oh, let me help you, man. Let me help you. Let me."
Yeah, why do you carry a gun? You don't need to live that way.
You don't need to live that way. And he's like sort of judging him. And then Don Cheadle's like, "Is there anything you need that you don't have?" And he's like, "No, I got everything. I'm set." And then Don Cheadle's like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna like doing this to you, bitch." And he walks away. And then at this point, you're sort of thinking, because at least I was, because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was like, "What the fuck's gonna happen now?" But
ominous. Did he just get threatened?
Yeah, I was like, what's gonna happen now? But what happens now is that Nicolas Cage wakes up, and he is now the family man, and he is now a husband to Kate. He's got kids. He's no longer a wealthy investment banker. He is now a tire salesman, because in this reality, that's what happened. He stayed with Kate. He got kids.
Yep.
He had to get the first job that came, the tire store. And it's very realistic.
Real life, he's just like probably laying in a gutter, like tripping balls or something.
Yeah, and the basic plot of this movie or message, I'd say, is that you can have all these rich things, but maybe to have a family, to have like people in your life that you care about, that's the most important thing.
What's the value of these riches if you have no one to share them with?
Yeah, exactly. And I like that. I think it's a classic message. I think it's fun. It's a fun movie, I mean. For me, anyway. I don't think you liked it as much as me. You hate how dickish Jack is, and I get that. There's a scene where he almost cheats, but he doesn't cheat.
I was way more upset about his tantrum over a suit.
Oh, okay, yeah, that part was really stupid. I agree with you there. I was thinking that same thing. Just like, man, but at the same time...
I understand because, like, I've gone down in social class over the course of my life.
He's mad.
I would fucking love to have some of the finer things in life. But I'm not gonna go around telling other people who depend on me that I deserve this extravagant thing because fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting to see how in this alternate reality, how things are a little different. Like, they show him going back to his old investment banking firm or whatever, and they see the one guy that he was sort of pushing around before. Now he's the higher up, and where he would have was.
He's
Uh,
calling the shots. Yeah, he's
he's
got a backbone.
yeah, and it was I like those scenes, and yeah, and their interactions are so funny because that character's really trying to get the higher ground when they're having these arguments, and then and you sort of think he has, but then at the end, Nicolas Cage is like, "Oh, you man, you've really fucking grown, haven't you? Good for you." And he just walks away.
Yeah.
And I like the way Nicolas Cage acts in most things, but I thought he did a good performance in this, and I think I get why G. Berg suggested this movie, because this to him is, I think, his most believable performance for G. Berg's. That's what I think.
Okay.
But because we were talking about that, he mentioned this
He
movie.
does go through a lot of emotions in the movie, right? Because this is about development, but I'm mad because it's another mediocre man story.
No, exactly. I get it. But I like the supernatural elements. Um, I I get why they did
That
this.
part pissed me off too.
Yeah, right. I didn't expect it. I
It
like
would
that.
have been fine if not for that lottery ticket guy. Everything
Yeah,
would have been fine.
yeah. Oh, exactly. And yeah, let's talk about him real quick, because then I get why they did this, but I still would have liked to just, I guess, slightly more explanation as to what, like, who he is and what he is. But I guess that's sort of the
Right?
point, is that we're not supposed to know, and it's supposed to be
Yeah.
mysterious. But I wanted to
So
know.
he's taking a glimpse, right?
Yeah, it's
Which
like, so is he an
comes back
angel?
later and says
Is he
it
the
has an end.
yeah?
So I kept waiting for, like, when does he come back for some direct intervention, or a check-in
No,
update on
I
the
actually
real
like.
world, something.
I liked how they did this. What, cause the way they realized that when he was ready to change, it just they didn't even have a conversation about it. They just sort of, but they both, you could tell they both sort of knew when he's buying the I forget what he was buying from the store, but Don Cheadle at this point
He
is
went
working at the store.
into the convenience store where they first
Yeah,
met.
yeah, no, exactly, and he's buying something, and they just sort of had this look. He's like, I got my kids, I gotta go home, and you sort of know, like, this is the end. He's switching tomorrow, and Nicolas Cage even knows, because he goes home. He doesn't even go to bed. He just, like, sits in his chair.
Yeah, he's seen Groundhog Day. He knows how it works.
Yeah, but honestly, I think he should have stayed and cuddled instead of went and just sat in the chair. But that's a minor note. Anyway, what else to say about this movie? I should look it up on Wikipedia. What you got, Stevie? Anything to add that we haven't touched
Oh,
on?
right. I just hated that he fell in love with a made-up Kate, right? Where he
Yeah.
found himself falling in
Oh.
love.
Yeah. With
Because
the Kate that
real
doesn't
life
exist.
Kate didn't have this experience that
Okay.
he's all inspired
Okay.
by. So he's had this elaborate dream or whatever, and he just walks into her life and he's like, let's try again.
Okay.
I'm rich.
Okay. Yes, I get what you're saying, and that's a good point. But she is. She's the whole point that they're trying to make, I think, is that doesn't matter, is that they're soulmates and they're supposed to be together, and they do show that, like, at first she's like, no, fuck up, like, but
Yeah.
but
Going to France. Leave me
he's
alone.
persistent, and he's like, you know what, no, we got to do the mad rush to the airport. This is a fucking rom-com. Let's go. Mad dash to the airport, and she's like,
The
let's
airport scene. We're gonna.
yeah, and he's like, let's have coffee. And then they have coffee at the end. And honestly, I don't know, I liked the ending. I thought it was good. I'm glad that it's
Well,
sort of
it's
gave it
cute
closure.
and sweet in its presentation. It's just the underlying details and implications that I'm cranky about.
That's fair. And I don't blame you. So this movie, I thought this was a bomb. It did okay. 60 million budget, box office 124 million. This did alright. I had never heard of it though.
Right.
And not only you, but my dad also thought that this movie was The Weatherman when I first mentioned it, which is another.
I remember he's got at least one kid in that movie.
Yeah, and that's another Nicolas Cage movie, which I have seen that one, and it's
we're not
funny.
used to seeing him be nice to kids. at all.
Yeah, no. So it's sort of like I get why people would mix that one up, because he is sort of a family man in that one, but in this one
Yeah.
he's trapped in a family man's body sort of, at least for a portion. Obviously, it's more about realizing it, but we talked about that. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I didn't really touch on that I want to touch on.
Okay, so I want to call the lottery ticket guy an angel. Can we just agree to call him an angel?
I feel like that's got to be like what he was. That's the most
Yeah.
satisfactory explanation for me. Sure, let's go with that.
So
Or we could just call him a Don
I
Cheadle.
so he was in Jack's life every day of his glimpse as the daughter.
What? He's the daughter?
She always had answers,
I just took
right?
that as like kids know stuff that adults don't pick up on sometimes. That's what I was getting.
Okay,
Yeah,
their interpretation, but I found that she
that's
was just a
interesting.
little too smart and quick to just be a kid.
That's fair.
Like she
Yeah, it's
had
unrealistic
some
little. I get it.
deep understandings of stuff. And like of course, they try to convince us, oh, this is just a normal kid, talking with dad about, you're not my dad. Oh, the aliens, okay, whatever, I'll play along. But
Yeah.
I am convinced that she was the lottery ticket angel in a different body.
That's an interesting conclusion. I definitely didn't think of it like that, but I'd say that all
Right?
movies are
And
open to interpretation, and that sounds good enough of an explanation to me. So
right,
Hey,
I see this as, he's supposed to learn how to care for other people, and he has a really great guide for this.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, the
So I'm
kid is
pretty sure it
good.
was the angel himself.
I think it's important that that you have a character like that, but because yeah, she seems to know more what's going on. Like, you're not my dad. You're fucking everything up. Al-
Right?
although obviously she's not swearing, but like that's the basic ideas that are
Right?
gotten
Like,
across.
he wakes up Christmas morning and fucking takes off,
Yeah,
and everyone's like freaked out.
yeah, and
And,
pissed.
instead of being concerned, they're angry, right?
Yeah. Well, they were concerned and then
See, there
angry.
is concern.
Yeah, but then when he comes home like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, dude? And he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like I didn't
Fuck
know.
you.
Yeah.
You're there. Christmas morning, you built that bike out of your own eyeballs. Come on.
Yeah, you built this bike. Don't you fucking remember it? Even though you got whisked in here by Don Cheadle. But yeah, she didn't know that part. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't know. I
She
like this
wasn't even
movie.
real. She was a figment.
Should
She was fairy dust, right?
yeah, should we compare this to Click?
Flick.
Should,
Yeah, sure. If you want to go, it's 7:15.
okay, real quick. We'll try to
Okay.
keep it short. But like, I really like Click, uh, and I think it's underrated. And I think this movie is also underrated. And they both have
Okay.
supernatural elements, so there's some similarities. In Click, Adam
He's learning
Sandler
how to
has
be a loving, caring partner and father.
yeah. In Click, Adam Sandler has a magic remote that he can go back and forward in time. And in
I
this,
got from Christopher Walken.
yeah, in this Christopher Walken, and both the theme that both have is that they're both sort of about bettering yourself. I feel like at the core,
Yeah, learning
um,
to not be a typical man.
but differences are Family Man is more serious. I'd say Click is more goofy, but both have serious
Absolutely.
moments for sure. And like Click made me cry. I don't think this one made
Me
me
too.
cry.
That's why I'll never watch it again.
So
That's why it gets a better rating.
these ones are honestly like neck and neck for me. I would say. I think
Flick made me cry,
they're
and I
close,
hate that.
but leading that to I think that leads me to I think we should rate it unless you're ready to keep talking. But if you're ready to rate,
Oh, I have more time to shit all over something that G-Bergs loves dearly.
fuck you. Oh, I should have done. I should have made a fuck you G-Bergs or something like that. Uh,
Yeah, right. Fuck you, G-Bergs on the whiteboard.
No, we're not
No,
doing
I'm
that. I'm
kidding.
talking
We
about.
love him. We miss
No,
him,
we
and
love him.
wish that he was here
We love him.
right now.
Just joking. But no,
Yeah,
we have
no,
some
I don't
silly.
want to take time.
Yeah, I was just saying that because we have some silly commands I made. Check out the commands. Type in exclamation mark commands. There's a bunch of. I made a bunch of stupid shit. Type in like
man.
exclamation mark MIS,
Mans.
exclamation mark FYD, exclamation mark FYS, exclamation mark SS. Those are some fucking, you know, I'm not explaining it by just saying the acronyms, but that's what the commands are, and you might be surprised.
That one's funny.
There, yeah, fuck you, bitch. Dr. Booty Quiver. ...
Oh, okay.
Bitch. Okay, anyway. I think we're good for oh, wait, no, you said you want to keep talking. Keep talking about this movie.
No, I said that, but then I changed my mind because I realized
Oh,
I had to
that you do love him.
being mean-spirited,
Okay.
and I don't feel like doing that right now.
Okay, well then I am good then. You wanna rate it?
Yeah, sure, I'll type it in.
Okay, here Mike is sexy. He's not here, but I think he's streaming right now.
You
Yes, he
need
is.
to know what the command does, right?
Yeah, I know. That's fair. That's what it. That's for when Pickle Man is here, or anybody named Mike, really.
Yeah.
Who is sexy? I'm gonna give this a straight 7. That's how I feel about this. It has its
Right.
problems, but I did enjoy it. It's not as
Just
good as
below
like.
your average.
It's not as good as like Groundhog Day or something like that, but it's pretty good. Like decent at least.
Two nips. 2 nips. Come on, Doug. 2 nips. Doing backflip. With your 6 nips.
Oh! There you go. That was the last review, so we got a little extra nip.